Please turn to page 7 of the Kurukulla Prayer Book for Refuge and Bodhicitta. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior, having great compassion, the founder, having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts. To you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha. Homage to the Dharma refuge. Homage to the great Sangha. To all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms' atoms in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure, white heap, curd like cloud, O Losandrapa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable Guru, smile brightly with with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine. As supreme merit, feel for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage worthwhile to think of, hear, and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted 3 vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned 8 mundane concerns, made life essential. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Tsongkhapa essential teaching specially shine forever. Migme tsewe te chen chen reizig, dreame kempe wampo jompe yang, duhu malun jonze songwe dak, ganchen kepe songyen Tsongkhapa, lo sandra pe jabla soadem. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seed of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remain steadfast. Homage to the exalted 3 jewels. Thus I have heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Bolcha Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomena called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the 5 aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this, subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the 5 aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics, that is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element, and so forth, up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance, no cessation of ignorance, and so forth, up to no aging and death, and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is not false, should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasongate bodhisoha. Then the blessed one, perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of the three places Dakinis, Akasamara Sashadara Samara Yape, Akasamara Sashadara Samara. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisoha. Through the power of the truth of the exalted three-jewel speech, may all on the side of negativities such as the four Maras be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Shante Kuri Soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse and harmful conditions. May all be perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here, right now. Saji Purgi Jun Xing Mei Tong Tra Ri Rab Ling Ji Ni De Gem Pa Di San Ge Xing Du Mi Te Ua Yi Zhou Ku Nam Da Jing La Che Pa Shou Jet Sun Lama Dam Pa Kye Nam Ki Che Ku Kala Kien Se Trin Drine Ji Ta Tsam Pe Urgyen Zima La Ja Ge Che Gi Cha Pa Wa Tu So Idam Guru Mandala Kamni Atayami. Jodang Soki Chognam La Jangchub Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chun Yengi Pesonan Ki Drola Penche Songge Dropa Sho Jodang Soki Chognam La Jangchub Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chun Yengi Pesonan Ki Drola Penche Songge Dropa Sho Jodang Soke Chognam La Jangchub Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chun Yengi Pesonam Ki Drola Penche Songge Dropa Sho
Good morning, everyone. Happy birthday. Nice decoration. Who did that?
We all did.
I think you guys good job. You guys very good for decoration. Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, I think today is weekend to celebrate for all of us to birthday. Anyway, it's wonderful to be able to also some birthday celebration. And as there's a center start 30 years. 30 years is a long time. I think since that, maybe hundreds of people get benefit through the center. I think the who start beginning is Nick, still he survive, still he live. Basically, Buddhism also very such a special that Tibetan Buddhism is pretty new in the Western countries. I think the Vietnamese, Chinese, Thai, Cambodia, Laos, their tradition is pretty, maybe they're long time here. And the Tibetan Buddhism, I think they start like about 1940s, I think so. They start come from also Mongolia. One of the Mongolia Geshe come to New Jersey. Then they start like that. This I think first time. Then after the His Holiness Dalai Lama, exile, yeah. What means excite? Exile, then more start, but still very pretty new. Usually, the Buddha's teaching two different languages for Pali tradition and Sanskrit tradition. And then who follow the Pali tradition, we call Theravada tradition, is Thai, Cambodia, Laos, Burma, Bangladesh, like that. Still, those countries, I think when they chanting also, they're chanting the Pali tradition. They don't chanting their own language. The Mahayana tradition is like Sanskrit tradition is Tibetan, China, Cambodia, Vietnam, then what else? Korea, Japan, like that. You can come in. Yeah. Like that. Then also, this is the Mahayana tradition. There's the Sanskrit tradition. I think those may be their Tibetan, they translate for Sanskrit to Tibetan language. I think Chinese also, Bhutanese, Bhutanese also, then Mongolia also they translate. I don't know, Vietnamese. Did they? What language is? Their own language, right? Yeah. Like that. Then also the Tibetan Buddhism is also Vajrayana or Tantra. I don't know, Vietnamese that? Maybe they don't have Vietnamese. They also, then Chinese, they're a little bit part, but maybe not much. The Mongolia, Tibetan, Bhutan's more. They're both. Anyway, now I don't know, the Western also, the Sutrayana and Tantrayana both. Basically, His Holiness Dalai Lama always said he divide for 3 different categories for Buddhism. You know, one is the Buddhism, science of Buddhism. One is the view of the Buddhism, one is Buddhism practice like that. The science of Buddhism is like really, they talk about physically and mentally. The physically, how things to exist, like very small atoms become bigger, like exactly, explained for the very tiny atoms become put together, then they become bigger, then now we can see. Can you see, like, do you see some this sun, what's the sun come to the window, you see very tiny dust? What do you call this?
Particles. Dust particles.
But it's not very small, right?
It's not as small as an atom.
Yeah.
If you can see it, it's not very small.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I'm not going to me go. I think the sun's atoms, I don't know. Kanji do Shinanga Zopa Duchen. Chur Kanji. When they shock charge in a share, Manga to Shinanga Zopa Tin Drayers.
So, like that, you can split it into smaller and smaller to the smallest part where you cannot differentiate the direction of the particles. So the scientists were able to find that, where you cannot identify the direction of the particle. Is it eastern or western, or the northern or southern side of the particle? That's how it is explained in the text. Of course, we don't have microscopic the tools or gadgets to look at it, but that's how it is explained. Harmless particles. And also that is how the length and the time, the duration, that's how they are also measured. So just like how things exist, the reality, how things, the external things exist, the world, the atoms, the particles, and so forth. So that's like Buddhist science. So that's very similar, with the modern science. And then also we talk about dependent origination, where things exist, through dependence on other things. So if you ask question, what is the most or fastest thing in the world? What is the fastest thing? The most fastest thing?
배는 테레비 갈라 그래. 테레비는
What does the science say? Science. Light?
전도사는 가르쳐도. 당가도 시단 잠블레게 배나. 제가 굽죠 다 테레비 질롱이라고 봤어.
So of course 90% of people in the world follow the science, right?
간난 테레비한테 되는 거는 그렇게 따지지 찌찌 둔듯 받은 데레스 콘도 따지는 거로 봤어.
It's because what the scientists tell is through the investigation, right? Not just saying, oh, it's like that, but they investigate, and after at the end they find that, oh, this is how it is, and then they say this is how it is, right?
얘나 대dem보시라요 말했어.
So, but that can be also limited, right? Because your investigation or research can be only limited.
로카식 질라 저 잡사랬어.
Because it can change, and with the time, right? This year it will be like that, but next year it could be different.
근데에서 강들 제자 그 배나 트리바레 지나서 소소고 섬다나자다 넘을 적수 간에서랬어.
So, according to the science or according to your own thought, what do you think is the fastest thing
다 들어가서 트리로 놓지않았어.
in this world? Thought?
아?
Light?
배나 다 지나서 배나 트리라다 강간 트리 가로 로조야고 트리콜로 야고 신기전이란가 트리 신경 말해.
So you are all very well educated about the science, right? I don't know about much about science.
근데에서 배나 트리핑이 조금 먼저 가리자 그래. 조금 먼저 가리자 그래.
So how do they measure the speed in science? How do they measure? How do they say, oh, this is fast or this is faster? How do they measure the speed?
From where the light starts, they see where it ends, or they measure it from where it starts and where you can see where it ends. I'm just guessing.
저는 트리피 아?
They have a stopwatch.
You can't really see a single photon move, so they can't measure directly. They measure things about it.
Yeah.
From the measurements, they say, oh, okay, it must be this fast.
Yeah.
They make inferences from the data that they are able to collect.
야, 다대 가서서 나타 알아서 다다나 가지 세리빈 좀 먼저 찔레 때는 내레 때는 된 쪽을 가지 연구해서 건도.
So usually they measure by comparison, right? You compare with it. Oh, this is like that. That's all. So you compare with other thing and then say this is faster than that, or that is faster than this, like that.
제장도 남백이 대장 두드렸어. 그런 내레 때는 된 쪽을 내레 때는 된 쪽쇼 생각도 찍샤도요 말이지.
And that's how Buddhism also measures, through comparison. So when you say fast, what is fast? Fast is just a general, right? Can be applied to anything. Right? So, but when you compare with that, then you say, oh, this is faster than that. Therefore, it's faster, like that.
그래서 다 대다치 다 가서 배는 트리피에서 나 배나 링도지나 링쇼도 가르쳐 그랬다.
And what about the length? So what is the longest thing in the world, according to science? So how do you define long? How do you define long in science? Huh?
You measure it.
Compare, yeah.
된 트리피
Relative,
못하는
right? Same, right? Isn't it? What do you say is long? So a person like who is tall and who is short, how do you say that person is short and person is tall?
Okay, 아까 okay, which finger is longer? No. If I say like this, which one is longer? 간지 나도 중간에 링도도 왔어.
So they have different length, right?
가르나. 벨란 델레테니 벨란 델레테니 데티링아도 왔어. And that being the bad, the same. Maybe a little longer. Maybe my fingers. Are you guys same? No same, right? Maybe this little bit long. 간지 찔레테니 찔하면 가도 림보 대생가도 샤도요 말대.
So you can't say this is definitely long or definitely short, So everything is in comparison with the other one. So this is long because it's longer than other one.
대행간도 트리비로던 통도 돼.
The same as science. Science, that's how they say, right? How you define the long and short.
대치단 지땡은 로다는 통도 돼.
And then that goes along with our day-to-day life, right? how things are.
제가 대강도 남백의 추급배나 저가 나라 아니 로이 인예가 로이 피나라 이거 피 빠르신도 다.
So that's explained in the the text called Abhidhamma Kosha. It's phenomenology. It's all about how things exist in the world.
다나 지금 말 나서 뺐나.
Vasubandhu.
나서 뺐나 맨다고지 나도 냐 인소샤와는 인소 간지 시작이요. 디나라 시바카나 따도 빼면서 제워요스.
So also it explains about how a baby conceives in the womb, and what is the progress it takes. All these are explained very clearly.
제가 저도 문제 전에 다 저도 추계적게 말했다. 식당이 지탱을 못하는 거스.
So it's not nothing about dharma. It's a religion. It's just the way things are.
어떤 애한테 만주고다 잡아주고 대다 로좀 빌로도 체거서 그 세계면 배졌다 삼었다 배졌다 삼다 되지 그래서.
So these are what we study in the monastery. The monks, they study in the monastery. And they look at the text, study the text, and then they think about it, and debate about it, discuss about it, and then find out is it really true or not.
진짜 다더 어느 실록만 쭉 라박스 빠스 저기 이제 직장이 그래. 아니 다 대마에게 애는 가서 나 10에 놓다 있다. 나 10에서 됐다는 트리비 될 거라고 자토요 말았어.
And so just like that, it talks about the external phenomena like that, and then internal mind, the internal mind, which of course science is very limited, can't to the depth of it.
그래서 다대 애네 가서 남백의 쉬운하라야 아니 바데 치다 안 정말 남자서 좀 티나라 빼면서 야 제보요래.
And so that is very well explained by Dharmakirti in his text known as the Compendium of Valid Cognition.
그래서 다 대니라 안도 가서 남백의 세력이라고 그랬어.
So those two are Buddhist science.
그래서 다 대가서 추켈레나래 추켈 말렘바이나래 셔당게 religion 켈레나 말에 참이가 곧다 좋아요. 냠내지죠. som당도 좋아하는 거죠.
So that's something that we all can look at, study, whether you're Buddhist or not, doesn't matter.
Okay, and your religion or not doesn't matter. How you who does the religion?
Religious.
How is it? Religious. Okay. Yeah, anyone can. anyone. 배차잖아. 가로서 배나 장고는 무시고 좀 배나. 샴바는 니제사 정도 왔어. 샴바는 니제사 돼. 샴바는 니제사 돼 배나 가서 추켈랭에다 남바 주보고 그래서나 빼면서 잡주주래서 송거래서.
So just like His Holiness talks about loving kindness and compassion. If you say this is only to do with the religious people, then that's very, very limited. So that can be done by anybody. Anybody can practice loving kindness and compassion. But in Buddhism, that's one of the main practice. So the loving kindness and compassion is needed for all, whether you're a human being or even animals. As long as you breathe, we all need that. Even the plants and trees need loving kindness and compassion, right?
제가 대타때 나도 캔사열 때는 자판에서야 텐디가 테리바지가 아니 배나 뚝자들 랍시 두링한테 랍시 아니 신다 신라가 쳐로 고칠 안에 붙잡 대파정서 빠르듯이나 더요 왔다 야 진이죠 차보들 랍야 추로 칠 붙잡는 빠르는 빠르듯 인조셔 텐디가 세는 통성 저는 돈요에
I don't know if you have heard about or seen a Japanese scientist that like experimented how things come up in the picture when you say bad words and or say good words. You say good words and I don't know to the plant or to the water or something, and then they take a picture, and then when you say bad word and take a picture, the picture comes very bad. And when you say a good word and then and take a picture, and picture comes out very good.
That's true. Have you heard that?
Yeah, there is
That's true.
there's a water crystal
Yeah.
by a Japanese scientist
Yeah.
that shows the formation of the crystal. Very beautiful crystal.
Yeah.
Say very nice words to objects.
Exactly.
And very ugly, dark colored, discolored crystals.
when you say bad words. Yeah. 제가 더 들리 용거다. 간지 들리자 다도 간주 ben 3년 대바로 용거로 was.
So that's like, yeah, something like that, happens, which is kind of beyond our thoughts or imagination.
다른 것도 다 신도 뜻이들 것도 잠만 이제 겁나 것도 소용는 것도 자고 뭐도 이나 간지 것도 샘친 벤나 소 참을 용도 was.
그런 말은 가족이 키워봐서라. 그러나서라. 나 신ning 주에는 알아서 야고 차가.
알 때도 소설도 용거. 벤나 소수의 뭐 벤나 신들에 빠지 샴종 야보지 지간지 시들에 소설 가오지는 소설을 샘내야 좋아요. 저게도 와서나 파조를 좋아하면 가서 하고 매스.
So yeah, so if you have loving kindness and compassion towards the plants or trees, then they become good too. I'm not sure, because you have your love and compassion in your mind, therefore you feel good. It's because of your good action that you experience good thing. You understand what I mean? So otherwise, I don't know if really the plants and trees have any feeling or not.
We cut the grass, grass get mad. 다 테마에 보면 알아서 보면 미단 제대게 샘체나 아니 미디가 가지 샴보체바나 다데 샘체세 저게도.
But with the animals, definitely, right? So if you are, practicing loving kindness and compassion towards the animals, then the animal become close to you. They become fearless and they come close to you.
다 나중에 내가도 콘돌라이지 콘돌라 올라나 아니 콘도야 가도 벨레시시도 콘도 셴이야 마 얘네 진도나.
So then, when you're very nice and then sometimes they misbehave, and then you scold at them, then they try to play with you, be nice to you like that.
Right? Example of dogs, they just go close, they just show how the owner's looking for, right? These are kanji, shamse said, paying on the migmanto, never chimushu.
So it's loving kindness and compassion, is very powerful, which, it's invisible but very, very powerful.
제 자가 안에 땅가도 축캔 램바이나 축캔 말램바이나 간지 uk 땅세 참을다 때 고기를 샴세사데.
So whether we believe in religions or dharma or not, we all need that, right? As long as we breathe, we all need loving kindness and compassion.
다 샘체는 게 샴세 체슈데 아마드 자료를 생각들라나.
And so for us, whether we believe in religion or not, in general, the most kind and caring person that we know is our parents, right? Our mother, especially.
제가 단답변에 장소 단대 천다 따지 간제 강가 미치 못하게 자세 장소 나도 참아 이나 나도 다 소소 밤마 대화나 밤마디 이 보인 something 다 주주로 소화게 그랬어.
So we're all grown-ups, right? We're many, many years old, but to our parents, they still think like we're babies, right?
We are getting old, like this. My parents, my baby, come here. 다 이나 세담 베나 다 디럽고 이제 와다 고유고 전에 다 루마다와나 양 가지 양 파마 다 지탱 오게야 파마 수술에 베 뉴모지마다 전에야 다 보라셔라 소명이들 레레도 와서.
And of course, there's differences, in people, right? Some people, you can say because of the time or degeneration. Nowadays, we see some parents don't have much feeling towards their kids.
대제 빼자잖아. 내 가족인데 스쿨 동서 스쿨 아마시. 아마도 보고도 꼭 가는데 주로 말래네. 다 야창은 로시입니다. 아마 간 섬지. 보고 갔음. 보고 내일 봐 주잖네. 긴 동덕스.
And so I saw the squirrel, carrying squirrel mother, helping the baby. The baby was down on the ground. It was not able to climb the tree, and then she held it with the mouth and then put on her back, and then she climbed like that.
세상에 단단 가서 내 스쿨 나포줬어. 내 콘자 그래. 야나 콘 아들 시 그랬어. 내 콘삼도 내가 단 그래. 미션보다 카라테 코시고 가 그랬어.
So I think you might have experienced one of the black squirrel here, coming very close to you. Yeah. So he's very close with the people. Yeah. But Geshe say he's afraid of Geshe. Geshe sometimes beat him.
Sometimes he want to go to the house. He want to hold, not just punishment. 대보 군도 하고도 앞에 아니 근데 지금 안 나와 제게서 놓고 갈래 고 파시게도 다 코지는 코 자샤자 간도 튼자게도.
And so they know, right? So people who will not harm, they will know, they can feel, and they come close. And then people who are harmed, they can also feel that, and they run away from them.
대자네 샴바당 제바당 지 그리고 파티 니오세데 빼는 것이 무서워도 내가 좀 통고 말해.
So that's because of having or not having compassion. Yeah? So if people with the compassion, then they feel very close and they come close. And so it is whether you become close or not depends on whether you have compassion or not.
제자 안에 다 샴바당 니지에서 되고 아니 젬베가 딴젠 레전라 제바 젠 지원데 미치는데 내가도 남변 안에 딱고 간지 처랑 안에 선배 지워다 처랑 안에 지금 메세 야포다 아니 처랑 지 신자 먹거나 이제는 제와다 이제는 샴바다 이제는 펜베 펜선 고그래서 나도 랍고 그래서 대신에 계산을 그래 처랑 지 먹거나 콜 펜고나 계산을 외우도
And so in Buddhism, of course, it's emphasized so much, on the practice of loving kindness, compassion, and cherishing others. So if you care about others, if you think about others, then you will be happy. If you want to be happy, you care about others. That looks very strange. So you want to be happy for yourself, but you have to do things for others.
그 sometimes 그 계산 내기도 하신다. 가르래.
Do you find that strange?
쇼진 다에 sometimes 용도 하세. 가르는데. 나 집어서 걸 야워 찍어서 가르라서.
So like if I want to be happy, why should I do things for others, Right? That's what we think normally, right? The ordinary people would think like that, right? Now, why do I have to be nice to others if I want to be happy?
배전에 첨성질이야. 초가점이나 가오에면 파세야. 찍질이야. 재섬지 찍질이야. 캐리지 찍질이야. 기접 전통이나 아니 그러나 군투바자고 말아왔어.
And so like why do I have to, give to others to become rich? So if you give, you lose money. How do you become rich like that, right? So but this is how it is explained in Buddhism. And of course there is, always a big role played in the relationships, right? If there is a respect and a care, love for each other, then there will be less fightings, less quarrels, right?
That's true. That's chance로 뇨뇨다. chance로 초가점에 재상자냐로 왔어.
So that you have more experience than Geshe, right? you all have couples. Right?
근데 저는 재미지 비차이나. 아니 저는 배나다 보면 저는 배나 초가라까 되나 재섬이 와치. 아니 초가될지 야보용 삼부터 되게 아니 초가라 기회여기나. 아니 수수까지는 삼을 흘려 차대 그러었어.
So if you are, let's say you are, a woman, who care and love your husband or boyfriend, and always, taking care of him, then, then the boyfriend or husband will naturally love you, right? Be happy with you, so you'll be more relaxed,
다대만 바지 가리나다 코 야부지면도 코 직칭도 코 니칭도 코 심바인 로면도 직당자 섬도 소소 남도 냐냐라니 섬트게 되어서.
So your mind will be more at peace, but if instead, if you always doubt about your husband or boyfriend, it's, oh, maybe he's doing that, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's going with somebody else, and all this thing, then your mind is all disturbed, and you are not relaxed or not happy at all.
다나지 다 조갈에 두고나 집어버렸어.
It's the same, with the husband and wife, right? So from a husband, if as a husband, when you have that kind of respect, trust, and love, for your wife, then you'll be also happy.
배차지는 니마 집배나 배차샤와이나 제메데 조가나 코노 사와치, 그러봐. 디갑 조가 되게야. 아니 소박금 더와이나 아니 요다만 붙이는 요만 요다만 보지만 잠로 그랬어.
And then other, important thing is the patience, right? Patience. Like, if you have a patience to each other, then, there will be a lot of problems that can be solved by that. Like, for example, if a wife is angry at a husband and then says all these bad words, then if husband just be patient, and then don't respond, with the bad words, harsh words, then there will be, no problem. But if he responds, with the bad word, then there will be more problems.
Right? 배나 대가를 배나 간도 다 섬당을 다 대가 가는지 가는지 벌선다. 아래 다 이제 다 코로나나 뭐라나 지지나 대리 내가가 도가 강에 야만나 직다 직단 말을 봐지. 아니 내내에 남주 제당 실내가 지난 말에 되네 진짜 몽보일 때는 코로 사람이 다 지고 범신 오마로 왔어.
And so you have to think, of course, being patient is not easy. It doesn't come just by itself, right? But if you think about the reason why she's angry, why she's saying those bad things to me, or maybe she had a problem at work and she, maybe the things didn't work the way she wanted, and maybe something happens. So because of that, poor her, maybe. And so you don't blame her for becoming angry, but instead, give an excuse, for all these reasons, with all these reasons, and then you don't become angry. Otherwise, you can't control your anger. Yeah? The anger will just come like that. And then her also becoming angry doesn't happen just like that. There has to be a reason for her to be angry and for her to say those bad words. So if you think about those reasons and then be patient with that, then that will solve a lot of problems.
Right? That take up like that husband wife saying I'm sorry, such can't go that you love what you kaji teaching the Suzu no to me that Jim and the child to Kunlang the no to Yenaya. Capital no to Malabaji, Kogonda and Geshe in the Chichevana. Any Pachua the Copalis and Plando was.
And so even if you don't say the reasons, just by saying I'm sorry, I'm sorry about that, and all these things, and then that will subside. The anger, anger will come down.
Didn't you hear that? Two in a man do some doctor Martha, man, I'm not my child. What happened? You did that. Each other, right? The sort so good.
So usually, in normal, ordinary people like us, we can't, practice patience. Immediately we, respond with the anger.
In a chance, Pachi Tambo, Posamosa to Galo Pachi Paso come to yours.
But in the beginning, you were able to, right? It's just that when you, got married, or maybe been there for a long time, then you are not able to. But at the beginning, when you just first met and you were very attracted to each other, that time you can be patient, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, honey. It's okay. Today, dog kashi, low kashi. Today, patari.
But after some time, once being together for like months or years, and then you become distant.
제가 나도 배나 담보고 배나 제외겠다 차별 끊내려는 제와인다 고때마도 막 휴충충 심했지 아니 담아대다 간지 소소질랑 아저다 차도다 아니 직도로야 휴체제네 나도 봐 냠도 그래.
So in the beginning it happens because of your attachment or attraction to each other, attachment. You feel that way, but then when you've been there, then the attachment becomes less and less, or you lost the interest, and the attraction becomes less, and then now you couldn't bear when she or even her presence, or even when she says something bad or something annoying, then you immediately burst with anger.
뭐라 당에 저도 쫀도 제가 말다 대신당에 로또 제가 나는 건 통상 제가 왔어.
So I'm not like pointing at anybody and saying that, but in general, that's how we are, right?
배나 나도 배려와 임바나 자가단들 배나 창사되고 되나 저거 다 법은 뭐고 샤쇼 보면 너쇼 보면 냠도 자셔가 파마니 수준 돈이 말았어. 근데 원하는 건데 메시지 깔래 가버려 봤어. 단 너라 소속이 세체 대회 세체 같이 소속 같이 나왔어. 파만 제 영어로.
Like India and Tibet, people, they have like arranged marriage, right? Arranged marriage, where you have never met the other person. The parents will, bring somebody from somewhere from the east, and then you're from west, and then you first meet at your wedding, and then of course that might be difficult, right? You haven't understood the person. Then when the problem comes, then you can say, oh yeah, I didn't know, it was just arranged for me, like that. You can complain like that, but here it's not like that. You have investigated throughout the time, right? Just like the gold, like by cutting it, burning it, rubbing it, You have investigated in everywhere, and then you still have problem.
You change every 2 weeks, right? Change another one, Like barina, the Gimi Chalana, that Javana Pedova, the Muni, Cochanta Javana, Cotembush Yores, Cotembu Bena, Cotembush Deg was.
So like in India and Tibet, that's like it's a tradition everywhere. It's tradition, but they really take the tradition very seriously. And no matter what, once you get married, you're never to be separated.
다 내가 가서 라마 요청해. 다 라마 오픈 제 찬에 다 잘라 줘 제쳤네.
But here, it's too much freedom, right? So too much freedom, so you change, the partner just like you change the things in the shop. Exchange.
근데 용도 왔어. 나도 내 용도 왔어. 근데 오래도 왔대. 근데 바지 아니 나라서 밑에 밑에 말이다. 간지 쉬운 거 차네. 안에 미간가야 누모야 공원에 봐봤지. 아니 따지 맞아 슈침 보지 봤지. 되게 좋아해도 봤어. 간지 내 담봉 간지 내 가만히나 ngal magana chu yuksha danjar was.
So it's also, our expectation, right? So the person to be perfect, faultless and so forth. But if you understand, that's not how we are. We are human beings, we have emotions, we have delusions in our mind. And because of that, we'll become angry and, sad and fight and all these things happen. This is to happen. If we expect that, then maybe when it happens, it won't be that bad. When it's not expected, and then you say, oh, I didn't know that was coming. And then, you burst out, with the anger. And then next thing you think about is, oh, this is not good. I didn't know this was coming, so I don't want this anymore. Therefore, I want to be separated from that person.
And tambo ngazo pena yongor tanga mitte nyam chasa jay marda tanga meseko chasa jaga mesam susu kene jay dre yongores.
So at the beginning, you see the person perfect, and you say, I can spend the rest of my life with this person. And if I don't get to marry this person, I'm not going to marry anybody else.
And
then after some time, there comes a time when you say, I can't live even a second with this person.
제가 대용어다 대용어도 간나 당봉하서 비니 지오무시 누가 간가 값이야 되고 나로 값이야 was.
So we see the bad side at the later. It doesn't mean that we don't have bad side, And it was all covered. At the beginning, it was all covered by our attachment. We're blinded by attachment.
Right. 제가 다 가리시거든 나비나 가서 샘 삼도 땅땅 거는 저한테 그래서 마셔시.
And so it all happens. The things change happens because of our way of our thinking.
Right. But the magic chana ni jo ndula chana thought this chegre sengal. Angan chesare samgare.
So if somebody says you are beautiful, then you feel like, oh, maybe I'm really beautiful.
And handsome so that chibaro popom.
Same with the guys, right? If some girl says, a girl that you like, maybe. If the girl that you don't like, says that, maybe you don't care, or you might even get angry. But if the girl who you like says you're handsome, then you become very proud and you say, oh, really, I'm really handsome.
And then you watch, just gelo chado,
and then at some point, if she points out some faults in you, then you become unhappy. But it's not because of her, saying good things or bad things. The things are changing in us. At the beginning, we're young and maybe more handsome, but as time goes, we grow old, more wrinkles on our face, and we take less care about our appearances. And then, so people will see that, and then they criticize about that, and then we get angry.
제대야 정도 변이 계실라고 시가 주마시와 진데 나도 주도 가르치 시에 된 something 되는데 그냥 나도 대한테 야보 신나네 남배 춘을 만드시 잡았던 것도 이체 용을 했어.
So you might be thinking, why is Geshe interfering in our lives? Instead of teaching Dharma, why is he going through all these, secular things? But it's true, this is how Dharma, we apply to our day-to-day life. And if we think in correct way, we can change, our lifestyle and become much better.
다 원하야 자 진행하도 참아 자와라니 제거래. 상하도 제 제아요 말해서 대요 말해서.
So then what is the solution for it? Should we all become monks and nuns? Not that. That's not the solution either.
Okay. 가들 안다 남배 춘에 랍자 조데 수수고 셈야 보다고 잡 그래서. And the Pemot nature do some but Maris,
so what we have to understand is the suffering, right? What we think of as a happiness is in reality is suffering, but we don't understand that because of knowing that we think, oh, that's maybe happy, that's why I want to do that. And so those are the things that we have to understand. And then what is the cause of those happiness or sufferings, and understanding that and then applying that. That's what it's all about, practicing Dharma.
Okay. Teresa and Nambegi Bena Semi Yamnid, Nambegi Trichari. Tendi Terite Lelao and Louis and Chayajida and making Toyato Pardia Yomare.
So all this practice, to transform your mind, right, from bad to good and so forth. So that's all done through the Buddhist science. Of course, and this is all about mind. It's not easy to understand. We have to study and understand that, and then when you can, then you can make the change, to the mind, to the way we think. Then that will, be of great benefit to ourselves.
제가 맨날 나도 대한 따뜻한 맨날 테레비에 연구도 왔어. 연구를 쓰기도 간지. 미직 셈밥 전에 템보 매봤지. 미직 셈밥 템보 요나 미직 나사 찌버찌장 포와나. 아니 뭐 셈밥 템보데 나사데 야 잘래라요레스. 아니 셈 투보친데 데스 트라이앵 고르라고.
So even the science say that people, it makes big difference in the people. Let's say two people have the same kind of disease, but if one person is more calm and peaceful, and other person is always disturbed by all these negative emotions, then it's it makes difference. For a person with a calm and more relaxed mind, it helps to heal much faster, better than the person who is always disturbed by negative emotions.
tenreda ngado tsewa tsesemser tsewa sendo tsewa mingtong에 말다 ming받는다 간지 코로나 니바 주사라 간지 슉비다 magnetic 소리로 대야죠 서로스.
And so therefore, people having that kind of loving kindness, compassion, with a more peaceful mind, makes big difference. So it is the strength or the power of that positive mind.
배나 보고 주죠. 다 보고 아마도 막제 차바다야. 다 밀라줘도 안 통마줘다. 아니 세르바슬라 달라랑도 하고 메스. 맞제 차바다 배나 아메 방공가르잖아. 보고 되 다시다 무거워다. 간지 아메 방공가르 샤와다 메시마지 방공가르 샤와냐. 아메 방공가르 샤와 보고 됐을래 치야다. 망거 용도 정도. 뭐 아마 수하고 말 개개 신경 말어.
So like even if you don't know, even like the child who's the newborn child, right, born right now, and it doesn't know anything, but when you keep the child close to the mother, it feels more safe. So if the child is crying, and if you stick with mother's body, then the child feels more safe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the experience, but the science say that the child feels more safe than on the mother's body than on other person's body.
제대로 갈랑을 뺐나? 아니 거기 샤이 뭐 집어러 왔어. 샤도 집어러 왔어.
So for the child, getting in contact with the flesh, with the skin, it's the same, right? The other person's body and mother's body is the same.
얘나야 부고들라 아니 아마들 제가 쇼요레스. 아니 파졸 코 제가 계시 요말 지지나 쫙 저신데 챙겨 왔어.
But because of mother's compassion, love, for the child feels more safe. But other person maybe doesn't have that. Maybe other person even might feel, disgusting, to stick the child's body on his or her body.
제가 아마라 제가 요한다 텐리게 제가 돼가지 미마도 간지 또 부고들 간지 조개서 간지 미마도 간지 슈침보지 내바 침보지.
So that kind of loving kindness from the mother, even though it's not something that the child sees, but it's because of that, the child can feel it.
근데 이제 다 남중 알아서 가든나 가도 샘 죽되거든. 가도 저도 샘 죽어야 돼. 삼점때 죽돼.
So most of time, our mind is disturbed. Right? Do you guys have disturbed mind sometime?
Sometimes. Maybe once a year. 제가 두가 나도 삼다고 있어. 샘데 가리 샘 죽어도 가리지는 죽어도. 대상부 땅고 살았어.
So at that time we should think, why is my mind disturbed? What is causing my mind to be disturbed?
아니 되게 디스터브 지와 되게 안에 소속이 변해 따지 강에서 그나무도 아니 지 내가 그랬나 때 따다 안에 대고 따다 지하를 팽이도 팽인데 대삼다고 살았어.
And then that disturbed mind, does it help, to have that disturbed mind, to do the things that we want to get it done? So we have to think about that.
남주 배낭 가서 알아서 삼다다 배낭 내 강사마대 내 개cham다 따다이 삼대 그런 거죠. 그래서
So normally we think, what I think is correct. I think this is the way, and this is how it really is. That's how we think, right?
당도 집안 담을 왜 강아 집어지냐 그래서.
So that's same for all of us. We all think in that way.
제가 드네장을 내라 드네 찍찍 고고도 말아봤어. 드네장자 뱅아이 장장 아이 장장 내네.
So everybody has their one idea, right? She thinks she's right. I think I am right. He thinks he's right. So then that's why we all have these, arguments. Not getting along with each other.
제가 남두고 샘기 띠니 딱 파줘올래 기접세거나 뭐도 당연히 뜨고 단데 녀고 삼서도 매한테 되고 이거를 봐.
And also because we don't have that mind thinking that, I should respect the person, I should listen to the person, I should agree with that person. That kind of thought, we don't have that, right? And because of that, we think that what I think is correct. My idea is right, like that.
Taina Namjing also touching also Channel Legaching Sambala, Kangal boss your was, just some boss US.
So you know, everybody who works, they have bosses, right? Bosses above you. Do
Boss.
you all have boss?
Boss is big boss, right? And some of the boss can that 10 years goes and because some container was.
So, but you know, anyway, so you have boss, and you have that, you know, thought in your mind, thinking that I must listen to my boss, right?
Che the 10 Namjing also boss and to show Mando. Show the
So therefore, you don't get into much fight, you know, with boss, right? You don't get into a fight with, you know, boss so much, right?
I think some boss doesn't know some young chicken was.
And they say that if I don't agree with the boss, maybe boss might become angry and he might either fire me or, you know, and demote me and so much like that. All this worry, do you think that? So that's why you say, oh, I must agree with the boss.
Che the social techi, te social yabachi. And Shembajilaya at a cool boss, the cool Yango, more in a corner man, Yango, some Konotevanza, the Sergi, and Chikaro, Suzuka Semte, Tumadavayon was.
And so, of course, you have to have, you know, some caring respect in your mind, and then from there also, then say, oh, yeah, my boss, and I have to listen to my boss. You have to have that thought, right? And when we have these two things together, then there will be less, you know, disturbance.
What to tell and in Ma Cheji, Shadada, Shulokin, Karo, Tinkianda, and Jetianda, and Jervando, the Mambo, you're going to send rangi Javatasha.
So it's all mostly, you know, of course there are something from outside, you know, there's changes in outside happening, you know, the weather, the climate, and all this change happening from outside. But, you know, also, but mostly it's our mind, you know, the way we see or way we think, you know, from our mind. So that is Buddhist science, and this can be practiced, you know, studied and practiced by everybody in the world.
And China Temajana China Sanjay Garden Gando, the Sanjay China Chewatanga Lagio Maris.
But it's not to say that that's how it is in Buddhism, and that's how you should practice. If you don't do that, Buddha will punish you and so forth. It's not like that.
Oh, the Tate Nambig Trita, Namji Jangon Bishita, and that he depth of Paji and Injikalata March Justaris, and it was Lona con Nambig Shetangi basic Shetan the Tiamushu.
So this is what His Holiness, you know, mentioned, you know, about Buddhist science, and also His Holiness has taught a lot on that, and that book is, I mean, that teaching is already transcribed and, you know, into a book, and I think it's available now. So if you can get that and read, yeah, that would be very helpful. And then the other part is the Buddhist view, you know, Buddhist view. That is a little bit difficult, you know, for others to accept. But actually that is also, you know, related with the reality. It explains about how things exist, you know, how things disintegrate and so forth. And then other is the Buddhist practice. So there we have all this practice, you know, like starting with the Guru devotion, you know, the death and impermanence, karmic law of cause and effect, and so forth. So those also, you know, is in accordance with the reality. It's not, you know, beyond reality. It's not like something false, but, you know, it's something that is only practiced by the Buddhists, you know, so therefore it is difficult for other people to accept it. And like understanding about the karmic law of cause and effect. Yeah? So if we think about the karmic law of cause and effect, then many of the problems can be solved by just thinking about the cause and effects. Like cause and effect, we all accept that, right? In Buddhism and religion, in Buddhism we use this word karma, you know. So they think it's a little bit different. Karma means action. So like the cause, right? You do something, you create a cause, and that cause will bring some kind of result, and that's the result, right? The cause and result. You know? And that's the reality, right? If there is no cause, can there be a result? No, right? There cannot be a result without a cause.
But the kabum chikti cheju chikba chichang sopta chikba chichang sutogor was.
So like the cup, that kind of cup can be produced, right? Just like many of that kind of cup can be, many of that kind of cup can be produced in the same color, same size, same shape, all this, right? Exactly same. Can you? With the manufacturer. Yeah.
Exactly same size, same. Tango mean double mukaser.
But what about people? Human beings, right? How many people are there in the world? 7 billion?
7 billion.
Are they exactly same? Anybody you can find exactly same? Can you find if you go and look for it?
Sopta chikba chichang, namju chikba chichang. And ni jet jema chikba chichang negative.
Like looking exactly same, exact in appearance, exact, complex, everything exactly same. Can you find somebody like that? Why is it that?
What are the karma there is?
So karma, which means the action, right? We did something, we did something, and because of that we have this appearance. And nobody else did that, so nobody else has exactly the same like we do. And then why we will not create exactly the same cause? Why will not create the exact same karma or action?
So
like there's 20 of us here, we all have different thoughts, right? Different action, different appearance, different, definitely completely different from each other. None of us are exactly the same. Why aren't we able to create exactly same karma or action? Why aren't we?
Why
are we not able to create that karma?
Same thing. Why one not? 제자 난 티콜 삼로 있다는 거 같아. 삼로 땡가라서 그래 왕차 명이 잡로달라 왕 친구 주도 왔어.
So what pushes us to create a karma, right? Depends, right? So there is something. It's not up to us, right? It's not totally up to us. We can manage in some way, but not totally up to us. There is something, a very powerful force behind us that makes us to create this karma or action.
Yes.
Is it our consciousness, our minds, the way we're all different? We all have different things in our consciousness, different illusions, different things going on. So we all process things different, and we react to things different. So is that why we might?
제가 샘 강가 뭐라고 하나 강가 샘 너무 찍자요 말. 간트와는 가서 간지 너무 찍자요 말. 강가 너무 찍바 자요 말이지.
And then again, same question: why don't we all have a same kind of delusion in our consciousness?
Right? Why we don't like same food? Why we don't like same color? Like I'm the red color. Some people like somebody hair color, red color, right? With different color, different people have different thoughts, different shapes, different smell, right? Everyone different. So why did it happen? Who did that? Is yeah?
Isn't it related to dependent origination?
Yeah, this is a big question, okay? You have to think about 24 hours without changing. Now, if you really understand about this, then
So if we understand that, what is causing us all this,
yeah.
then many of the problems can be solved. So maybe we know, we can remember, but we're not able to actually practice that.
Right?
Like for example, we all like beautiful things, right? Anything that's beautiful, right?
right? Nanzo sopta ni jewo, and then supo yakpo gawo chana gawo yorwas.
So we all want to we want to look beautiful, we want to have a beautiful body, beautiful face, everything beautiful, right?
가신 거는 빼니 jewo다, 가니 jewo 대타 레기 묻었어.
But some people they are beautiful, but not everybody is beautiful, right?
beautiful 영화 치는 것도 쇼 최고다, 깔래 쇼 야고도.
And so you have to work very hard, spend a lot of time to make yourself beautiful, right?
배차잖아. 다 가서도 믿지 말어. 단대배나 홀리월 로딩에 다 부부 모두 저 있잖아. 미국 야본 토하게 제대로 로송 같은 땅
So we are like ordinary people, and like the celebrities, from Hollywood. How much time and money they spend, to look beautiful, right?
다는 그 셈라 가세스 남바요.
And then that much more they have a worry, thinking somebody else will be maybe more beautiful than I am.
저도 코도 삼성한테 뛰는 동호도 홀리월이야. 돌로 만다 지금 좋다 만다 진짜 가서 나도 대 저도 예매 저도 저도 삼도 니제 지금 가르쳐야 됐어.
So what is that event where the stars, the movie stars, the Oscars, during those times, right?
Red carpet.
They all come, red carpet. They come in all their beautiful dresses and then they take a pose, give a pose or take a pictures, right?
And 저도 좋아 가려고 돼.
What kind of feeling do you get when you see that?
저도 때 아무것도야 가지 코도 대화를 삼고도 해서 가지.
Do you think that's a real happiness?
내가 되겠다. 저도 잘못 시험 와서 제게 돼가서.
No, you're not being honest. You're trying to be a good Dharma practitioner. But we all have that. Oh wow, so nice. I wish I could be like that, like that. That kind of feeling. We all get that.
We all know that, right? 옛날 간두 고도 샘나 간데 남다용 가서 소개 말해봤어. 싫어네 지삽다니지. 나지 내가 빼나 뭐래지 여대ም 싫어.
Yeah, we see the outside thing. There's such a nice, body, such a nice dress, and all this smile face. We think it's so nice. But inside their mind, how much worry they have, we don't see that.
배나 간조도 군조 배나 다 땡에 삼들다 야 지금 간 노래 줘 봤어. 이나 파시 노래 말해. 간조 샘다 쿠르는 간조 샘 배나 야상 압주 중 간조 샘 말해요 그래서.
So this is my thought. I could be wrong, but I think ordinary people are more relaxed, more happy, than that celebrators. What do you think?
군조라야 당가 가디 미게 자샤도 마찬가지로 요나. 나까지 겐로고나. 나까지 미게 니지 없는다고 요나서 대비 남다냐냐 돼.
So they always worry about their looks, right? Maybe sometime, when I'm going to get old, when my appearance doesn't look good anymore, and so forth. And they always worry about that. Oh, maybe people will not like me anymore. All these things they worry about losing their friends and so forth. So they're always that kind of worry.
세상 간조 로직은 로소데 파시 콘주페나 니마 찌니게 비 민들라야 또야기 지는 로소 담겨.
So they spend so much money on that appearance, right? Just for one day to show that appearance. And one day they spend money maybe that can cover our expenses for a whole year.
이나 대야 코너스 쏘는 거다. 쇼신이들이 제일 좋아서 고수 쏘대래. 간조한테 쏘대요 말했어.
So that enjoyment that they get, that enjoyment that they get, is the result of their merit. We don't have enough merit to get that kind of enjoyment.
Okay. Now I'm not talking too much things, okay? 간지 도진 섬으로는 가서 배나 멜레데는 고와냐면 고여되는 멜라냐 봐세요. 근데도 일단 가서 돈들 연구.
So that way, when we think of some kind of happiness, we think of happiness in different ways, right? Some people think, oh, if you have a good look, good dress, good house, all this, then you'll be happy. And then other people think, oh, that's not, you still become miserable because from inside your mind, you're always unhappy, worrying, competing with others and so forth. So always have this thought, and and so but when you look from the Dharma point of view, then you see, oh, this is really crazy, no happiness there at all like that, and so therefore going into a remote isolation and doing meditation and all this is very peaceful and happy like that, so that's why. But if the worldly people look at that, oh, that's so miserable. That's so much to be in isolation without anybody, just by yourself, no enough food and clothes and so forth. So that's why they say Like when Milarepa look at us, because we are all fantasizing with all these things, right? And so Milarepa look at us, then he thinks we are crazy. But then when we look at Milarepa, then we think Milarepa is crazy, going begging like going around and acting like a beggar. Like that.
제가 다 가서 주도도 지나 간지 조조도 가서 샘데 빼 내가 침보다 수수 샘데 흘려줘 샘데 따보지야 돼 침보레스.
And so these are all understanding about karmic law, cause and effect, and so forth, and most importantly, our understanding about mind and guarding it, and making sure to do what is correct to do, and making sure not to do what is not correct.
제가 다 듣는 주도지는 가도 다 상주 샘라가 돼. 상주 샘데 간지 제라 펜생이 그 주마로만 비 샘기 떼니 지제라 펜도 제도 삼바들이 제고요래.
And then, of course, the most important, in Buddhism, is the bodhicitta, the altruism, which is not just wishing others to be, free from suffering and have happiness, but taking the responsibility upon oneself, to do that for them.
데레다 다 다지가 제라 펜은 가지는 가지는 코페도 제고르. 나도 초leg면도 왔어.
And so, so that kind of altruism, doesn't just come by itself, right? Without any reason. If you don't think about the reason to have that thought, then you won't get it. And so, why should you think? Why should you care about others? Why should you do things for others?
제가 배나 나도 남준 주바자사 코로사서 나도 소속은 고유에 되는 나도 롱바 파줄이랑 나도 코로사가 말와. 주바자가 말와.
And so normally, when we get into a fight, we get into a fight with the people who are close to us, right? And we don't get into a fight with the people who are like distance, away from us.
So we don't see them, right? we only see for our around people. 그래서 다 등송한도 가리쳐 버려. 등송 레비션도 단단 간도 제가 잠반지 제 팽이래서 레비션도 간도 가든지 제가 말해.
And actually, the people who are close to us are also very kind to us, right? If we see the good things in them, then we get the good things. If we see the bad things, then we get the bad things. So, so people who are close to us are very, kind to us. Who has given us so much thing in our life, and so therefore we can think about them as being very kind to us.
배 땡한 하나배나 냠녀로 오잖아 배나 나도 배나 미파조를 배나 니제 검사제로 와서 니제 검사대 때 나랑 냠녀로 제가이나 남중가도 쇼컨 샘자데 대화다 대바제 가도 전부는 저한테 결례면 왔어 샘자데 대화요데 동안가도 저큰 통고에 말아.
So if we don't think about other beings, why we should be kind to them, why we should do things for them, care about them, and so forth, then we will not get it. Even though every morning we recite, "Oh, may all beings be happy and have the cause of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the cause of suffering." So we recite that word, right? But do we really get the feeling?
No, right? I just say.
It's just a dry word. So you recite that, but if somebody were to complain from the side, then we will get angry towards that person. So, of course, when we say may all beings be happy, so it's including that person who's complaining to you also, right? So you're supposed to think about that, but we get angry because it's just a dry word, just a word by itself we're reciting. But if we think about that by thinking about others' sufferings, then that will become more effective. So when you think about their suffering, you see their suffering, and then that will really change your mind, of really having that wish, wanting them to be free from sufferings like that. So Geshe says he goes to the Dana-Fiber, the cancer clinic, he said it's very helpful for him to have compassion because he sees the patients there, infected by this disease, and the doctors, say that, oh, this person has 1 year to live, or a couple of months to live, or a couple of years to live, like that.
제가 텐디가 당다 공소를 내가 놓고 근데 나는 남이 따고 그랬다. 근데 찬탄다서 까지 티 수수 태워 슈팽도.
And despite having that disease, they still have to work. They have to look after their family. They still have to do all these things. So when you see that suffering, it makes big difference in my thinking about compassion.
다 되네 고도님도 계제시 그런 소소식 강의 시험서다. 오늘 전에 대응원의 수수 샘나 슈팽도.
And so when you go and talk to the person about their problems, and then when they explain all their problems and all these things, their sufferings, and then that helps to one's mind, to have compassion for them.
뭐 tendeja namjungazo gomjabe kabla panje semchedo je dewan dechi dungam deba susoyin ba jingzung je sambo tangta ba tengoni koa ratana ani ngazo sembe pengyore.
So then when we recite these words, and then at the same time think about other beings, at least like oneself. Just like I don't want to have any sufferings, they don't want to have any sufferings. Just like I want to be happy, they want to be happy too. So therefore, just like I want to be happy, may they be happy. And just like I want to be free from suffering, may they be free from suffering.
Okay, tendeja namju gomjawa ina chanaso pena. Nije gompa ina. 간세 소소라 지양 곰단이 어레 pena. 소소고 셈래 남주 소소가 아 나도 삼삼래게도 줄로도 원래 걸래 샤시 원라고도 셈제들의 강바 제자는라고 저거는 셈도 초월에들은 통도 왔어.
So when you are meditating on compassion, you have to think about the sufferings of other beings, or you can even imagine the sufferings, or like the sufferings and the beings that especially the animals that they face. Somebody, the animals not finding food and dying of starvation, or the animal which is like hit by a car, or like limbs broken and can't walk, and it's like helpless, lying on the roadside and so forth. Like think about those kind of sufferings in animals.
tendeja simte dungada trawa쇼 오당한 dungada takko 내리 dungada 가데다라와 trawa쇼 데 trawa다 ngaran ke chetna ya본도 tendeja sam도 그랬어.
And then when you think about their suffering, then your thought of compassion and wanting that person, that being, that animal to be free from their suffering will become very strong. Says, oh, how wonderful it will be if that animal is free from that suffering, and may it be free from suffering. I myself will do something to make it free from suffering like that.
제가 tendeja sam도 양 삼삼 미카지 tendeja 오지나 semma 마치 원 tendeja 제요 말했을 때 제냥 말해.
And so that kind of thought, it will develop more and more. So until that you see the real suffering, the actual suffering in every being, and then have compassion for all beings like that. But some people might not find that comfortable to do. If you don't find it comfortable to do that way, then maybe you should not do right away like that.
Okay. 도치네 나도 단단 가서 되게 소소 세면 저원도 캔 통고 말해. 이나 갈래 때 겁나 되게 땐데 저원도 그랬어.
So right now we don't see maybe differences in our thought, when we think like that. But if we keep on meditating, again and again, then that will definitely bring changes in our mind.
배나 대가서 저원도 나도 저원도 통고 말아 왔어.
So even if he's making changes, do we have to see the changes? Do we have to see the changes if he's making the changes?
Right.
If the change is happening, do we have to see that?
배나 그 야볼라나 나도 롱해말 달로치나 로치 게사데스. 말 로치야 체르차다데스. 그 두알라나 로치 게사데스. 나도 통고 말했어.
So like the changes that's happening in us, do we see that? Like hard to see from last year. Forget about the last month, or the last week, yesterday, this morning, 2 hours ago, 1 second ago. Change happening, right? But do we see it? No. Right? That's what I mean. Like if the change is happening, doesn't mean that we have to see it. But change is happening all the time.
나도 삼다다 작은 말했어. 롱 배나 롱엄마 삼다 다들 차 삼다다 저원 제서 미카 차다랬어. 나도 미카 가서 어디까지 삼다 그게마다 많이 챙겨 말까지 저원도 살았어.
So the change happening all the time, right? So it doesn't stay same. It can in the thoughts and also the body and all these things, changes happening.
배나 보고 숨지 뉴주갑 그 샘다 롱갑주갑 샘도 다그레베 샘 저원 샘 다그레베.
So the mind of the person of 20 years old and 30 years old, do they stay same? Even the thought changes, right?
제자이나 가리체 말잖아. 니시타치라레바 짠이라레나 짠이 가서 못해 말이야. 그 론디나 저거 딱 빠지고 됐어 로드가 왔어. 제자가 좀 통고 말해. 통고 말했어.
Yeah, so every time, like, every year, the of course our age change, and then our thoughts change also.
Okay, then we get it all also. No, we just grow. We say we just grow every year. Today the auto chen samdana, today samdana, ngazu tanda chance lokashile shamba nije gumda semen jawan ro kashi thod leg madana kali tene den ro yores.
So like that, the change is happening. When you meditate on loving kindness, compassion, the change happens. It's just that you don't see it right away. But if you keep on practicing, and then in the long run, like so from when you were 20 years old and now when you're 30 or 40 years old, you see the big change, right? You see the change just like that. When you have meditated on loving kindness, compassion for a long time, then you will see the changes.
But magic can corona wa inas. Can tell nije gumto de tende sem pengre.
And then, like, try to meditate on compassion, towards a person who makes you angry. And that would really help.
Okay. 아니 갑자기 말다 그 갈래 되긴 되거든.
So yeah, right away maybe it's difficult. Your power of compassion towards that person is not that great at the beginning, right? But if you keep on meditating on that again and again, then you will see the changes.
Okay. 제가 도저 가디 소소 가디 샘 가르 샘 축축도 샘 축축하게 샘도 가르스나 내차 셔당 공도 맞아서 전소 kalma chute lores.
So what disturbs our mind? What kind of emotions, negative emotion like the attachment, anger, ignorance, right? Jealousy, pride, arrogance, those kind of mind, this, negative minds disturbs our mind. Right? So we should try to suppress them as much as possible.
Okay, 당원이 지나 되는 가서 아니 상적을 샘때 대화 친구 아니 주고 코나인 받을 마시고 그래서.
And so actually, we were supposed to talk about the bodhicitta, right? The bodhicitta being the soul entrance, for the Mahayana path.
아니 상적을 샘때 가지 소주 샘지 소주 시바지래 시바지 삼당 다시.
So bodhicitta is a state of mind also, right?
제가 딘디기 샘때 딘디기 시바도 소주질라 제와였나 아니 밑에 강다 대화 친구 치다 수소와 아니 소주 옛날 관계가 때인데 결성화돼 편지 못이라 요래서.
And so, once we generate that mind, bodhicitta, then there are many benefits. Like we enter into the Mahayana path, we'll be respected by others, all these things. So there are many other benefits like that.
Okay, any questions? I think we have to eat the cake. Yes.
I think what helps me is my Vajrasattva mantras and the Bodhi and the medicine Buddha.
Yeah.
I've seen, there's a mantra that if I'm driving and I see suffering, or I work with patients that have cancer, and I'll say quietly, Bendazi, 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 and reading the Medicine Buddha book that I have, that you can actually help that being because you're bringing Buddha, the thought, telepathy, if you want to
Yeah.
call it, telepathy to the Buddha, would you help this person? And I've seen changes with people. Maybe
Yeah.
It's my head that's changing, but it's a little bit more peaceful.
Yeah, even you have very good motivation, you recite that, that can help for others.
All the time.
Even you have just smiling face for them, they will change that. If you don't do anything, but you just smiling that. Therefore, very easy change. If someone smiles at us, we are happy, right? If someone strange person is smiling, then we get, why they do that? But your friend, husband or wife, the family, they show smiling face, they'll show you love, you feel, good. If they start to complain, we feel what's going on, right? Therefore, like that, it's very important to compassion, bodhicitta, loving kindness, try to develop for our mind. But it's, it's not easy. It's hard to do that. Okay, anyway, I think now basically I like to say thank you for all of you. The Kurukulla Center started 30 years, but the people always change, but the centers here, through the center, hundreds of people get benefit, physically and mentally anyways. Therefore, even, Buddha came to 2,500 years, but he's not here, but still his presence, his teaching is still here, go to benefit for beings. Therefore, same here also, in order to survive or, live the center also, everyone need to support, physically, mentally, financially, anywhere, Therefore, you guys also very hardworking, always, some people always do things, physical things, mental things, one person cannot do, this place to, survive or live. Therefore, everyone can support peace put together. Therefore, it's wonderful. Usually, we say benefit for others. So what we have to go always to go to find of homeless people to feed. Not like that. Like this can't. Some organization through that we can do more. Therefore, everyone just SOU already did all the time to support the centers. Through the center, we can do a lot of benefit for other things. Like example, one small, last couple of months, the Rinpoche come here. We able to host Rinpoche, like more than 500 people get teaching from him. Because we have center. If we don't have center, those people cannot able to get their teachings. Therefore, I like to say thank you for all of you. This is you did, benefit for other beings through the center. Therefore, you guys are very hardworking, always. Therefore, they send so many messages. Don't center, just delete. They ask something, they ask a donation, not like that. Just read. Do small things. You don't have to do all things, One person cannot do. Also, don't give up. Sometimes I do all, it's so too much. Not like that. This is great. According to Buddhism, it's a very great opportunity for you to influence to your own mind to Buddha seat. Therefore, who already start through there, it's a lot difficult. I'm sure not easy. They are very kind for them, for us. Now still we are, maybe like 50 years, after 30 years, we are not here. Maybe no one hear us, but I'm sure the centers stay here. The person to change. Therefore, got to chick stitch is actually. That's in Dogo as well. There is a pentotion bush I am going and then they can Susumune, Jimpeg, Samba, Sagana, Jimpeg Legatan, the Chigos, Chusula, Japchet.
So, like I mentioned, this through the center, many people gets benefits. So therefore, if we are supporting the center to live and support other people, then we are supporting them indirectly. So supporting in a center in that way is very, very important. So because of our, the previous people, who started the center, because they worked hard, they started center. Therefore, we still have the center available, and we can celebrate the 30th year of the center. So just by having the center, with all these holy objects and stupas and so forth, and then just by people coming here, they just by coming here, even people or animals, anybody coming here leaves a positive imprint in their mind. And so, so from now until for many, many years again, we want the center to thrive and be there for the benefit of others, until like completely, until the Buddha's teaching has completely disappeared. Maybe after that, then, it won't be much beneficial, right? So until then, we need to have the center. So we should support in any way we can.
그래서 간단하네 말소나 소소는데 그 초반인데 그나 쉬어셔야 까워서 무시라 그랬어.
And so also from our side, we're very fortunate, to be able to be involved, with the center like this.
그러. 근데 이제 소소고 지금 레당 까와가 내가면나 아니 소리나 코도 좋게 제가 말했어.
And so of course, we have this karmic relationship. If we don't have that fortune and the karmic relationship, and even if it's right there next to us, we don't get any feelings.
뭐 가서 내 네버 뭐를 같이 좋게요 말고.
So like some neighbors here right next door, neighbors, some of them they don't have any feelings.
제다 소소고 아니 지 레다 까와 내가면나 가르면 가지나 용거 말했어.
And so you need that karmic connection, and the fortune, to have that feeling.
제다 아니 알아서 지대와 감에 레사샤베 레벨 단단한도 냠도 총war라 때니 지금 네게 전행한도 망보질 셈 펜톡체 도열다. 제가 자랑성원에 쇼치는 까워선보레 쇼치는 야보레 아니 도지체 쇼여인스.
So because of our karmic connection from the past, we're able to get together here and support and benefit, many people, so that way, and still, we're doing a lot, many of us, we're doing a lot, so that's very good, and keep on doing, and thank you for doing all these things until now.
제가 안조데 아니 지다 로종 제사가 띠네로 자대로 로종 제사이 자가 요래서 이제.
And so this is a study place, right? A place where we study about Buddhism.
제가 안에 내가 듣는 땅은 지금도 같이 축해 말지나 구수든지 나 로종 몸 제야 요래서.
And so this place we can study a lot from here, even if we don't believe in religions.
그러와 제당 안에 땅 안조 고야데 가서나 아니 지 소수기 아니 지금 무세대 로데우응은 제야 영화 가데나 공로자자사 데마고 들지 고야데 가서 담무세 대나로 오는 거로 왔어.
So what we want to have in our life is happiness, right? To spend our life comfortably, happily, not with all this disturbance of the negative thoughts, but in a peaceful way.
다 대상 담블리치 다 담블리가 죽대요. 담블리가 죽대는 가서 죽대다 사자는 가데는 죽자 그러 왔어.
And so the whole world is very disturbed now, right? With all these negative emotions. So if you're in a place where it's so much disturbance, then you'll be also disturbed, right?
다 대걸라 소소거네. 아니 샘 답보자디 내가 좀 답보자다데 샴바 이제 젬벤 고한테 도레스.
And so at that time, it is very important, to be able to guard your mind. So how do you guard your mind? Is through loving kindness, compassion, patience, and so forth.
제가 그때는 고마르도 꼬라자고 라고요 말했어. 그때는 니마다 샤차도 라고 말했어. 그때 니마니가 저도 드만데 라고요 말했어. 근데 수수 삼마다네야. 설명이 받고 그랬어.
And so so that you develop, you understand about that through the study. And that's what we provide here, right? And of course, it doesn't mean that if you practice Buddhism, doesn't mean that you have to make prostrations all the time, or circumambulate all the time, or recite Tara mantra or prayers, praises to Tara every day like that. So what is most important is to change your mind, with the thought, of loving kindness and compassion.
대대 semba jawa tangala an samlo tang lo chene jaga me nga semba jawa tangi yilan jawa ro mare.
And so in order to change your mind, right, with the loving kindness compassion, you have to know how to change that, how to develop that loving kindness compassion. And for that you have to study. Without studying, if you say, oh, have compassion, you can't have it.
그리고 제장한도 변에 내가 제장한도 제당 맛이나 그 어두제 제하면도.
And so for anything, right, anything that we do, we have to know how to do it. If we don't know how to do it, and if we do it, then we make mistakes, right? So we have to know how to do it.
제대로 가서 모르다가 드라이버 레슨을 해. 모르다다 시장고 온도. 양데 신이 콘도 되기도.
And so just like any study, right? So like when you're driving, you have to learn to drive. After you have to learn to drive, and then you have to pass the test, and then they give you the driving license.
제장 안에 자나가도 그런 신그레스. 뭐시에 치고 말가도.
So like that, we have to study, to understand, and then of course everything that everything can be studied and understood. So there isn't anything that we cannot study.
But I look Tabachin, Tibara Taba Mogoja, then they pay Jana Keshe to us, then Janala. Then when they pay, call somebody never rose, Tabachin Magon Keshe.
And so, like, the wireless, the phones, they're talking, from here to China without any wire. How do we talk like that, wirelessly? And so that's very amazing things. The science, they built that technologies, right? And through the technology, they built that, and it's an amazing thing.
제가 된 다지 미치긴 내다 되게 먹고 로망보 로종체 다제제 로종체 로종체는 그 대소도 말았어.
And so somebody made that, right? Made that possible. Did that person just make it like that? No, right? He had to study how to do this, how to do that. He studied so much. After that, then he was able to invent that.
배는 남도 첨부도 좀뭐 섬자 십자 머리 잘라 도 백치 문이 때문에 남도 kin적으로 왔어. 간이 이렇게 거서 삼다다.
So same with the aeroplane, right? Imagine, this big ship, carrying so many people with so many luggages. Yeah? Like how is that possible, right? Like that. But somebody made that.
그래서 미국 삼로 단 소절 뭐 그건 다 용종 말아 왔어.
And so there's somebody made it, through their knowledge, right? And it didn't just appear like that. They said, okay, here is aeroplane like that. No, not like that. Somebody built it, right? Through their study, through their knowledge.
대사 장하성 막 컴퓨터도 좀 따오면 다 대사 폰을 좀 따오면 저도 티샤가 도왔어. 미 주지면 말 골롭나 강아 제도 도와.
And so with the study and with the familiarization, right, with the habituation, you can do that. Like before, you have to type, look at the letters to type, but now you don't have to. You get so used to it, and you can you can type very fast. So that's because you're used to it.
Now when we talk, they can type. 제자 도서관가 미국 삼로 따제 제 세다 지는 그 여가로 저때 소용을 받던데 가게는 제도 그래.
And so these are all invented by people, right? Made, created, invented by people through their studies, their knowledge.
어때다 다 간전 간전가도 추도 네 전에 막 아니 메모지라 펜도 제도 그래 소설 펜도 줘야 되다. 아니 인시 제선이야 아니 추도 잡혀 줘야 돼 시락이 쇼치니 가리 쳔버리 쇼니는 소소고 손 잡고 가야 그랬어.
And so anyway, as I mentioned, through this center, we have received so many benefits to ourselves, and we are able to benefit so many other beings. So therefore, in any way you can, directly, indirectly, however you can, always support the center. That's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you. Then happy birthday, everyone. Okay, now we stop.
Please turn to page 39 for Thanksgiving Mandala offering. Saji perki juxing me tok dram ri rab ling jin yi de gien pa di sangye jing du migte uwagi drokun nam dag jing la chur pa shu je tun la me kutse rab ten ching nam katrin le chok chur gye pa dang lo sang ten pedrin me sasum gi droe mun sil tag du ne gyur chig idam guru ratna mandalakam niryatayami. Page 43, the short long life prayer for His Holiness. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path to unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Page 57, prayer dedication. Through this virtue, may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha's state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that enlightened state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Migme tse we ter chen chen rezig. Dreame kien pe wang po jam tel yang Gang Chen Ke Pe Urgyen Tsongkhapa Lo Sang Dra Pe Jab La So Wa De. Thank you, Geshe.
Who's doing anything? What's the plan? I'll come up with a plan. Fair enough. All right. Thanks. Thank you, Geshe, Damchala, so much. And thank you, everybody. So we have a very special day today. And actually, the special day was last month, on September. Unfortunately, we couldn't coordinate it all for last month, but we're celebrating nonetheless. 30 years, amazing, 3 decades. This only happens because of everybody being here, everybody creating the causes and conditions for the center to exist. So thank you. Thank you for the past 30 years. Whether you've been here with us for all 30 years or not, thank you so much. So what we've got planned for today is we're going to have a little cake celebration. So that's following right after. And we've got a little presentation, some pictures to share from the years past of activities that have happened at the center. So everybody can share in those. And Deborah, I see you're here. It's wonderful. And a couple of other students have been for a while, so maybe you can fill us in on a couple of details on what was happening back then. There will be 3 of these celebrations that we're going to do. This is the first one, so kind of celebrating the first decade, second decade, and third decade. And at each one of them, we're going to introduce another set of elements. I will have an announcement to make towards the end of today's presentation. Very exciting, so please stick around for that. It's kind of a big, huge news to share with everybody. So on that cliffhanger, to ensure that you stick around for it, very transparent. So I guess our next step is to get ready for cake. And then, Michelle, is it? Put the books away, please do. Yes. Thank you. Okay. As always, please, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our This Week so you know what's going on. There are no surprises. And then let's put things away, and then we'll get together. We'll have cake. Okay? Guess that.